Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Wednesday, May 14th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. Despite weak low pressure lingering over California, mostly sunny skies continue to dominate over the region as the marine layer has not become reestablished yet. The Central Coast is the exception, though, with plenty of low clouds across Monterey Bay and into the Salinas Valley. It will be a beautiful one today with lots of sunshine and comfortable temperatures. As a deep trough of low pressure spread across California yesterday, we saw temperatures plummet from record heat over the weekend back into the 60s and 70s. That trough will weaken and pull away to the east today, leading to a rebound of 4 to 8 degrees across the board, mostly pronounced over inland areas. High temperatures this afternoon are expected to rise into the upper 70s to near 80 across the warmest inland areas and the 60s near the beaches. Humidity will remain fairly high across the coastal areas today as onshore flow continues. However, the extent of the higher humidities will be less widespread than yesterday due to the weakening trough. Interior regions will dry out some today, with minimums largely in the 15 to 30% range, except as usual, the deserts will remain much drier. Winds will not be nearly as strong today as they were the past couple days now that the trough is weakening. Overall, winds will remain mostly light and terrain-driven, though some west to northwest breeziness will continue over the higher terrain. We are back to a more comfortable May-like weather pattern for the rest of this week after an oppressively hot weekend. The deep trough that brought us much cooler temperatures and a few mountain showers yesterday is weakening and trekking eastward today. However, a weak troughing pattern will remain in place across the west through the rest of the week. This weaker trough will help temperatures rebound after yesterday, though it will not get particularly hot and highs will be mostly near to a little above seasonal normal. Dry weather will prevail, and the marine layer will try to make a comeback late this week. Another unseasonably deep trough will likely arrive over the weekend, bringing another shot of cooler temperatures, gusty winds, and potential light rain chances. Continued warming is expected on Thursday, with temperatures rising another 3 to 6 degrees across inland areas. Temperatures are expected to remain mostly steady on Friday, except maybe a couple more degrees of warming are possible across the interior. By Friday, temperatures will be near to a little above seasonal normal, with upper 70s to near 80 degrees for the coastal valleys. The Central Valley and High Desert will be much warmer, with highs in the 80s to near 90. The Low Desert will likely warm into the low to mid 90s. Humidity will remain mostly steady through the rest of the work week, with higher humidity lingering across the coastal plains and minimums around 15 to 30% for interior regions away from the drier deserts. The weather roller coaster continues this weekend as the next unseasonably deep trough rolls in. Gradual cooling is expected this weekend, with high temperatures returning to below normal in the 60s for most of the coastal areas and 70s inland. The marine layer will likely deepen further, leading to an increase in humidity across the board and more widespread night through morning low clouds. Westerly winds will become strong again this weekend, with gusts of 30 to 50 miles an hour common across the deserts and adjacent slopes. Like we saw on Tuesday with the previous deep trough rolling through the state, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms are likely to spread across the higher terrain this weekend. Model projections suggest rainfall amounts of 1/4 inch to 1 inch in those areas, and little to no accumulation for the coasts, valleys, and deserts. Despite the low totals, this would be yet another solid moisture event for this point in the year when we normally start to dry out. The deep trough rolling through this weekend will be short-lived and weak high pressure will build in from the Pacific early next week. Temperatures will rise steadily once again and humidity will lower back down. There still remains some uncertainty, but there is a chance for high pressure to strengthen late next week and linger into the following week, which would bring a potential for long-duration hot and dry weather. There is also a chance of weak high pressure persisting, which would not lead to as much heat, but the weather will remain dry. We shall see how these projections shape up the next several days to get more clarity on the potential for late May. With respect to our fuels, heavier dead fuel moistures will be mostly on steady or rising trends through the rest of the week. For the finer dead fuels, some modest drying is likely through Friday, then more significant moistening is likely this weekend. Most classes of live fuels remain highly unreceptive to burning, and live fuel moistures are generally well above normal, despite our overall dry winter, thanks to all the late-season moisture we've gotten. Large fire potential will remain quite low this week due to the lack of any hot and dry weather, though a large grass fire will still be possible during the afternoon hours where breezy and marginally dry conditions exist. Large fire potential will likely increase next week with a return of warm and dry weather. Given the high live fuel moistures across the region and the continued late-season moisture events we're seeing, we are still likely a few weeks away from having to worry about more than just the grasses in terms of significant fire activity. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Thursday, May 15th. Have a fantastic day.